Match day one is officially over. All the 48 nations played their first game, and I'm about to give you my top 5 biggest winners and my top 5 biggest disappointment of the World Cup so far. Hello guys, and welcome back to OFT. Let's begin. So we're gonna start with the top 5 flops. Number 5 is Turkey, and I think this wouldn't shock many people. So they were expecting Turkey to be in my top 5 flops because losing against Australia was absolutely shocking, and they had a shocking performance. They couldn't find the net, and people were expecting them to fight that first one spot against USA, but unfortunately they lost that first game. So they're gonna have to elevate the game if they want to qualify for the next round stage. Number 4 was Brazil. But don't get me wrong, this Brazil is nothing to do with the Brazil that we used to see before. Brazil was always been very strong with names like Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Dunga, Ronaldinho, and even Neymar in 2014-2018. But this Brazil is very old, experienced, but not good enough. So they were completely outplayed by Morocco. They actually even could have lost the game, but they managed to get that 1-1 draw. So they're gonna have to play much better if they want to finish number 1 in this group stage. So my number 3 disappointment was obviously Portugal. Portugal dropped points against DR Congo. So let me give you a bit of story here. Congo, this is the second World Cup in the history. They have not qualified for more than 52 years. The last time they qualified in the World Cup, their name was not even DR Congo. They were called at that time Zaire. But now they came back here, played very well, compact, strong, and they finished the game with 1-1. They actually even couldn't win the game actually because they had two shot on targets, and Portugal had only 1 shot on target. And of course, the biggest disappointment from this game was Ronaldo. He was nowhere to be seen. He didn't have any impact in the game. So I think that was obviously my number 3 disappointment. I think this is very justifiable. And number 2 was Spain. Again, same story. Spain played with a historical country, Cape Verde, who's coming to the World Cup for the first time in their life. They have never been qualified before. They were defending together, attacking together, very compact, very resilient, very strong defensively, and they managed to hold the number 1 favorite for this tournament. Because before the tournament started, everyone was putting Spain as a number 1 favorite with their attacking forces. Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams, Gavi, Pedri, all those players, they have played in that game, but they couldn't find the net. So Cape Verde played very well there, and obviously they held Spain to a goalless draw. And my biggest disappointment of this tournament is obviously Tunisia, because losing, it's not even not losing, it's actually been outplayed 5-1 by Sweden is absolutely disappointing. And as a matter of fact, their manager have been sacked after only 1 game in the World Cup. They only managed to be Tunisia coach for only 5 games in total. So he was there a few months ago, and now he's been already sacked and replaced by a French manager who was very known in the African football nations. His name is Hervé Renard. He managed before Morocco, Zambia, Ivory Coast, and lately he was actually the manager of the last World Cup for Saudi Arabia, the actually famous team who beat Argentina 2-1. So this was my biggest flop. So now let's go for the biggest winners. So at number 5, I put France. Yeah, this can be also discussed because France hasn't been playing well for the first half. I think they've been actually even outplayed by Senegal. They couldn't go to the halftime with 2 goals down, but Senegal was not really clinical at that time. So we see France come back with the second half, much more decisive. They replaced Ouzi as a number 10, and then he found more spaces in the Senegalese defensive line, and then Mbappé scored 2 goals obviously, and becoming in fact the top goal scorer for France with 58 goals so far, and he's only 27. And I think there's much more goals to come as well from Mbappé. So I think that's the only reason why I put them number 5. And number 4 obviously was Ivory Coast, who played very well. They played against a very strong Ecuador team. Obviously, there was in contention between them and Ecuador to finish finish second in the group, or even first, because now we see Germany as well, won the first game. So yeah, they found the net at the end of the game. I think at the 8-7 or 8-8-7 minutes or 8-8 minutes, they found the net. They won 1-0 against Ecuador, which is a very, very good result. And that's also might be as well, historical, because
they're on their way to be qualifying in the knockout stages. It's something they have never achieved so far, because they've been to the World Cup before, but they always like, you know, get out of the group stages. But this time they might go, you know, a little bit further and go to the knockout stages. And number 3, Argentina, of course. He scored a hat trick against Algeria. He was so in form, and actually it's very it's very strange to see him do what he's doing at the age of 38. I mean, he was really clinical. His, you know, his shooting is still there. You know, his dribbling is still there, and then he managed to score 3 goals, and then you will see led Argentina to win 3-0 against Algeria. So that's why they put that number 3. So, and number 2, obviously this might be the biggest surprise so far, but of course, obviously, if I put Cape Verde, this is very logical, because they managed to hold the favorite with the 0-0 draw, and then without conceding a single goal. So first participation in the World Cup, having a opening game with Spain and holding them to a 1-1 draw was a was impressive result. And of course, my biggest achievement so far is obviously England. England have played so well. They are, you know, the opening game was really stunning. They beat Croatia 4-2 with the informed Hurricane, who still, you know, keep on going. Hurricane has been doing very well so far. This season it's actually his best season ever in football. I mean, he scored more than 60 goals already so far for club and country, and he's continuous, but, you know, to let the attacking line for England. So they won 4-2 against Croatia, and I think England will go very far in the tournament. I can see them being, you know, obviously at least the semi-final, and then let's see whether it's going to come home. So this was my top 5, and then here's my question. Now obviously we're gonna wrap that up right now. What's the biggest achievement you think I've got wrong? So let me know your top 5 performers and your top 5 flops in the comments below. Thank you for watching. See you later.